Judge Glanville is presiding over this YSL trial for now, but he just might be done. This trial is now on hold for a separate judge to make a ruling on whether Judge Glanville will continue or not. Let's talk about it. My name is Jamahl Kersey. I'm the principal attorney at Kersey Law. We're a boutique criminal defense firm in San Diego, California. And in this video, we're talking about Judge Glanville's future as the presiding judge over this YSL RICO trial. So Young Thug and several other of the defendants on this case, by way of their lawyers, had filed motions for Judge Glanville's recusal or removal from this case. And again, the basis for this request is the fact that they had this secret meeting in Judge Glanville's chambers, and this involved the DA's, Kenneth Copeland, his lawyer, and the judge. Again, none of the defense attorneys were present. None of the defense attorneys were invited to this meeting. And again, this was totally improper. I mean, the allegations are that both the DA and the judge were pressuring Mr. Copeland to testify. Defendant Diamante Kendrick had filed a motion to recuse Judge Glanville, but the judge denied the motion without sending it to a separate judge, and his lawyer had argued that this was an improper ruling by Judge Glanville. And this is something like you deciding whether you're going to write yourself a speeding ticket for doing 90 on a freeway. It's just not going to happen, right? And so the matter now is being sent to a different judge to decide whether Judge Glanville should be removed from this case. And, you know, if this happens, it is going to be a major deal because, again, we've been at this for a year and a half, but this could result in a mistrial. I mean, realistically, if you have a judge removed from a case, and under these circumstances, you would end up having to essentially rewind the tape to where the error was committed and then proceed from there. I mean, presumably not committing the same mistake twice. But the problem is, as we lawyers like to say, you just cannot unring the bell, right? I mean, the jury has already heard all of this testimony from Mr. Copeland. Again, this is a witness who clearly did not want to testify. He wanted to exercise his Fifth Amendment rights, but based on pressure from the DA and Judge Glanville, namely that if he were to refuse to testify, again, he didn't want to testify, but if he were to refuse to testify, that he could be held indefinitely, aka no end in sight. And so after that is when he actually flipped the script and decided to testify. And again, the defense position is that this is absolutely improper. The argument is that this is a form of witness intimidation and undue coercion and absolutely improper for a judge to do. And this is probably why the defense wasn't invited to the party, right? And so sorting this whole thing out as a practical matter, sometimes a judge will tell a jury to disregard testimony. Let's just say, for example, in a murder case, a DA asks a witness, you know, where was John standing when he fired the gun, right? And the defense objects. They say objection, lack of foundation, calls for speculation. And the judge says overruled, meaning that the witness can answer the question. And so the witness says he was about 10 feet from the concrete pillar. I mean, I'd have to assume, I guess. And so the defense is going to renew their objection. They're going to say lack of foundation, calls for speculation. And this time the judge is actually going to sustain the objection because it's clear that the witness doesn't have the foundation to testify as to what the DA is asking. And so that testimony would end up being stricken from the record, and the judge would typically say in this situation to the jury, you are to disregard that answer, right? And so then the DA would be asked to ask its next question. So you can do that with micro issues like this example I just provided, but to ask the jury in this case, right? So, you know, all the testimony you've been hearing from Kenneth Copeland, I'm just going to ask that you disregard it in its entirety. That is just entirely too much to ask. I'm sorry. It's not something that you can realistically recover from. At least that's what I anticipate the defense will argue, and they would have a very strong point in so doing. And so the rulings on these motions for recusal against Judge Glanville, you know, it's a very important ruling because I just don't see how you carry on from here if a new judge ends up getting swapped in. If he gets removed, then I can see the defense moving for a mistrial. I think it'd be a solid argument. And this could very well be the way that this case ends. What a wild ride. We'll keep you posted. Stay tuned for more. If you got something out of this, please show me some love. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new video when it drops. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.